me, brother. Excuse me, bro. The camera.
Quick single presents the red team the first round bubble.
Kazazır. Jipitan ji granatan jikise nadan jikise nadan. Cricket game jatan ya. Jipin na chau chau तर game shoot जुगान लगा 5-10 मिनट जाएगा. क्या तक? क्या तक?
UNICEF representative to Nepal, Ms. L.K. Wish, and the deputy to provide the trophy to the blue team.
Including in Nepal, on promoting children's rights. So what is this anniversary actually all about? It will be 30 years this coming week that the world made a commitment to children all over the world, to improve their lives. And this was articulated through the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child. The difference between the work that had been happening before this convention and when the convention came online, that before there was always an objective to, of course, further children's well-being in health and education, in water and sanitation and nutrition and child protection. But with the convention, an important difference that came was that this now established that children were actually entitled to all of these. So with this, member states of the United Nations, countries, including Nepal, the governments of all these countries committed themselves at the highest levels of the head of state that they would do everything in their powers to make sure that children had access to health, to education, to clean water, to good nutrition, were protected from exploitation, violence, and of course had good support in their early childhood as well as in their adolescence. Nepal has been one of the earliest signatories to this UN Human Rights Convention, and it's important also to note that there are different UN Human Rights Conventions, but the CRC, as we like to call it, is the most universally ratified convention. So what that means is that in the world, almost all countries have signed up to this commitment. So there is a broad consensus and agreement that children and young people should be given priority. Children because they are the future of every country in the world, and they are the future for us all, but also because as young citizens in their countries, they probably don't necessarily yet have the same agency to speak up for themselves as the adults would have. Over the years, a lot of progress has been made, including here in Nepal. The indicators for children have improved significantly over the last 30 years. However, I think it's fair to say we still have a long way to go. So we want to use this opportunity this week of the 30th anniversary as a reminder that children's rights are as important in 2019 as they were 30 years ago when this commitment was made. In the last 30 years, our world has become more complex, which means while the right to health and nutrition and water, and education and child protection is as important as it was before, we also are now concerned, of course, about new issues. The concern is there about what climate change and environmental degradation is doing, particularly for children who will inherit the world and the countries that we live in. Here in South Asia and in Nepal, as you know, we're particularly concerned about the air pollution that this environmental degradation is causing and the particular impact that has for children. There are other new issues that weren't as prominent 30 years ago, such as mental health, which is also disproportionately affecting young people here in Nepal. So we really want to thank our two ambassadors for joining us in raising this awareness throughout the country, with everybody involved, all the stakeholders that have a stake and have a say and have something to contribute in improving children's lives in Nepal. So that starts, of course, with the young people and children themselves. So we do appreciate that you are participating, you are speaking up more. We would like to encourage you to speak up more and also claim your rights. It is addressed to families and communities who are obviously the most immediate people that can support children and in their growth and in their development. It is also addressed, of course, to partners in government, in the non-governmental sector, in civil society, the media, the private sector. Really, everybody needs to be working together so that we can jointly ensure that the next 30 years will hopefully see a situation where every child in Nepal, as well as around the world, can enjoy their rights, and that we make sure that no child is left behind. So with that spirit, I want to thank our special guests and the two ambassadors again for joining us to raise this important awareness. I want to thank all child rights ambassadors here from Nepal, and we look forward to working with all of you and making sure that we make this an even better place for children than it has been. Thank you so much.
To Nepal, Ms. Johnny Petre.
And this year we do mark, together with UNICEF, this special occasion and use this opportunity to speak out and to raise awareness that we all need to protect and promote children's rights. Every child has the right to grow up in a safe and nurturous environment. And secondly, why this day is special is because of the two amazing personalities that we have here with us. The renowned cricket player and captain from India, Mr. Sachain Tendukar, and former captain of Nepal's national cricket team, Mr. Binod Das. To adolescents, dealing with issues like health, nutrition, education. And here in Nepal, we are also focusing on education and nutrition program, again, jointly with our UNICEF colleagues. Nepal signed the convention in 1990, and a lot has been done since. But again, a lot of challenges also remain, and the European Union stands ready to partner with the government, with the UN agencies, with the local communities, in order to bring this forward and to continue building the protective environment for the children. We need to create space for children to participate and to show that their involvement can make a difference. And I think today's sports game was a clear example of your participation and involvement. And definitely sports is one of the ways to empower children and also a way to unite
30
everybody.
signifies two things for me today. One is, of course, the initiation was made for child protection onto this particular date. So this is the 30th year that we are celebrating. And certain career also is celebrating the 30th year in cricket. A career that inspired billions of people, kids, to take up cricket. So thank you for choosing cricket, Sachin. You have made cricket richer with your presence. Thank you so much for that. And I would also like to thank UNICEF and European Union for bringing in the God to our temple. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our temple. This is the temple of Nepal cricket, the TU cricket ground where it all started, and have taken it to the next level. And as we so fondly call Sachin as the God of cricket, so the God has graced our temple. Now we believe we are only going to move forward from here. Thank you so much for coming and gracing this event, Sachin. Now let's get down to the formal part of it. I would speak in Nepali because being a Nepali, it gives me great pride to speak my own language and deliver my message in my mother tongue. हामीले सधैँ खेलिरहेको यो क्रिकेट मैदान आज क्रिकेट खेल्दा मलाई निकै फरक महसुस भएको छ। यो मैदानमा मैले 100 खेलहरू खेलेको छु, तर आजको खेल निकै फरक र पृथक थियो। युनिसेफका सद्भावना दूत र अरबौं क्रिकेट प्रेमीका मुटुका ढुकढुकी श्री सचिन रमेश तेन्दुलकरजी आज हाम्रो अगाडि हुनुहुन्छ र मैले उहाँसँग मिलेर बालबालिकाहरूको समूहको नेतृत्व गर्ने अवसर पाएको छु। एउटा मेरो लागि सौभाग्य प्राप्त भएको छ। त्यसै देशका वर्तमान र भविष्य यी बालबालिकाहरूको जुझारु जोश यसले हामीलाई नयाँ ऊर्जा सञ्चालन गरेको छ। 3 दशक अगाडि म बारा जिल्लाको कलैया भन्ने एउटा सानो ठाउँमा हुर्किँदै गर्दा र त्यो ठाउँको तुलनामा आज अहिले देशमा धेरै परिवर्तनहरू भइसकेका छन्। बालबालिकाको अवस्था त्यतिकै परिवर्तन भइसकेको छ। त्यति बेला र अहिलेका बालबालिकाका लागि स्वास्थ्य र शिक्षामा खास गरेर पहुँचमा उल्लेखनीय सुधार भएको छ। पोषणको आवश्यकतामा पनि धेरै सुधार भइसकेको छ। बाल अधिकार सम्बन्धी महासन्धि पारित भएको यो 30औं वर्ष हो र पछिल्लो 30 वर्षमा देशले बालबालिकाको खास गरेर स्वास्थ्य र शिक्षाको क्षेत्रमा निकै प्रगति गरिसकेको छ। सूचना प्रविधिको विकास, जलवायु परिवर्तन र बसाइसराईका कारण अहिलेका बालबालिकाले धेरै चुनौतीहरू भोगिरहेका छन्। वर्षायाममा तराईमा आउने बाढी र पहाडमा आउने पहिरोले गर्दा धेरै बालबालिका र उनीहरूका परिवारले वर्षेनी समस्या भोग्नु परेको छ। त्यस्तै इन्टरनेटको प्रयोग बढ्दै जाँदा अनलाइनमा पनि बालबालिकामा हुने दुर्व्यवहार पनि बढ्दै गइरहेको छ। हाम्रो खाने शैलीमा परिवर्तन हुँदै जाँदा र विशेष गरी बालबालिका र किशोर किशोरीको तयारी खानाप्रतिको मोहले गर्दा उनीहरूमा नदेखिने कुपोषण र मोटापोपन बढ्दै गइरहेको तथ्याङ्कले पनि देखाउँछ। यस्ता नयाँ र विकास हुँदै गइरहेका समस्याहरूसँग जुझ्न बालबालिकालाई सहयोग गर्नु हामी सबैको जिम्मेवारी हो। बाल अधिकार सम्बन्धी महासन्धिको धारा 31 ले बालबालिकाको खेल्न पाउने अधिकारलाई सुनिश्चित गरेको छ। खेलले उनीहरूको शारीरिक तथा मानसिक विकास गराउँछ। त्यस्तै कुनै पनि देशको समृद्धि र ख्यातिमा पनि खेलकुदले उत्तिकै योगदान पुर्याउँछ। क्षेत्रफलको हिसाबले सानो भए तापनि नेपालले खेलकुद र अझ विशेष गरी क्रिकेटमा प्रगति गर्न सम्भावना उल्लेख्य रहेको छ। आज हामीले क्रिकेट खेलेका यी बालबालिका र यस्तै बालबालिकाहरूले देशको क्रिकेटको विकासमा योगदान पुर्याउन सक्छन् भन्ने मेरो मात्रै होइन, हामी सम्पूर्णको विश्वास हो। यसका लागि मैले सबै पक्षले उनीहरूको सहयोग र प्रोत्साहनलाई अगाडि बढाउनु पर्ने आवश्यकता बनिरहेको छ। म यो मञ्चबाट सबै पक्षलाई बालबालिकाको खेल्न पाउने अधिकारलाई प्रोत्साहन गर्न र यसमा मेरो पनि पूर्ण सहयोग र प्रतिबद्धता व्यक्त गर्न चाहन्छु। Before I leave this stage, all this is read out, Sachin and respected guests, all it meant is child right should not be an issue to even talk about. It's their fundamental right, and we as individuals, as grown-ups, should make sure that not only our kids at home, but kids who do not have home stays safe, stays sound, and stays healthy. Thank you so much for having me here, and I wish you all the best, and thank you so much for coming and gracing this event. So thank you.
Special for me. I had a great time. What about you guys? Tapai harulai ramrolai. I did not understand fully what Vinod spoke, but I kind of vaguely knew what he was referring to. And I support that. You know, it is all about child rights, and what he said was 100% right. I would be failing in my duties if I did not congratulate UNICEF for completing 30 years of CRC. I also feel that in 1992, when Nepal was the first signatory of CRC, it clearly was evident of Nepal's commitment to making Nepal better. When we talk about getting better in life, doesn't mean you're not good at this moment. Even the best in the world continues to get better. So I feel, looking at the enthusiasm here of all the children here, I think it's really commendable, and I must applaud UNICEF's effort in creating this awareness. I think it is all about right messaging, and if you, in the form of cricket, if you can reach out to as many as possible and give your message, I think that is something which stays with you much longer than someone turning up and giving you a lecture on what to do and what not to do. I think there are ways of conveying message, and when it comes to children, I think there is no better platform than a play field. It need not be just the cricket ground, it could be any sport. All we want you to do is go out, express yourself, bring laurels to Nepal. When we were walking out to play, it reminded me of my childhood. It reminded me of the freedom that I got from my parents. The freedom to be what I wanted to be in life, not they wanted me to be in life. Because you see, there are a lot of things happening all across the globe, in sport, otherwise also, and parents sometimes who have unfulfilled dreams. They try and live their dreams through their children. I think that is really important to understand the strengths, the likes, the dislikes of your child, and to encourage them, to support them. And without any fail, my parents gave me that freedom. But with freedom comes responsibility. By nature, I was always a naughty child. So in my school days, when my mother would be cooking food, I would be standing next to her in the kitchen, also exploring things, learning recipes. I enjoy cooking till late, and it is because of my mother. But like any other mother, my mother also would be curious to see the tiffin box that she packed for me in the morning, whether I've had my lunch in my school or not. And on few occasions I saw, and then I thought I should play a prank with her. Can anyone guess what happened? When I came back one day from school, my mother opened the tiffin box. There was a frog inside the tiffin box. Live frog which jumped on her. And then after that, every time she was opening the tiffin box, she was exploring things, or maybe a grasshopper or a fish in monsoons. All these kind of things kept happening. So there was a way of explaining things to me. Shouting, screaming or hitting did not work, and neither did they ever shout. Their tone changed while messaging, and that was enough for me to understand. So what I'm indirectly trying to tell the parents here is, don't shout at your children. Don't worry about your children making mistakes. We all make mistakes in life. But if you clip their wings, you don't allow them to fly, they will never learn in life. So you got to give them the freedom to fly. They will make mistakes. It is our responsibility that you correct them. And the competition should not be with anyone else. The competition should be with yourself. what you were yesterday, are you better today than that? And whatever you are today, can you get better tomorrow? Because you start competing with different guys, there is no end to that. So this is my message to all of you sitting here. If somebody has scored, for example, if somebody has scored 20 runs, you score 22 runs, doesn't mean you've achieved something big. But if you have scored 20 runs, how could you add another 0 to that and score 200 runs? It is all about yourself. And then, in a team sport, when you all come together and contribute significantly, the end result takes care of itself. Through UNICEF, I learned a lot of things when it comes to ECD, which is early childhood development. I think most of us here did not realize that the first 1,000 days of a baby are most important in life. That is when the brain grows the most. In first 2 years, it grows up to almost, I think, 87%, if I'm not mistaken. In the 3 years, 80. So the more you speak to them, which is again, as we call it, EPL, eat, play and love. Within those 1,000 days, the amount of time that you spend with them, you explain things to them, you show love, you show affection, it all stays with them. Today, when I look back at my life, I've got fond memories of my childhood. There is, I don't think, a moment where I can look back and say, that was a terrible moment, my parents didn't treat me right. Not a single moment. And that experience is something which I also wanted to give to my children. They should enjoy their childhood, they should have the freedom to be what they want to be. So when it comes to my children, I never force them into anything, even in cricket. So it's my son's decision to play cricket. I never forced him into anything. I feel parenthood teaches you a lot of things. But the most important thing I realized was to have patience. If you are patient, then the results follow. Then you don't get angry with your children. You in fact end up learning quite a few things from them. I said earlier that I was a naughty child, and my cricket started at the age of 11 when I fell from a mango tree. Because I was up to mischief, I fell from a mango tree, and everyone at home thought that he was uncontrollable when it comes to his energy, because he's always up to something. So they said, okay, you go to Shivaji Park, that is where, as you call it, temple. So my temple is Shivaji Park and it continues to be. That is where I started playing cricket. I practiced for hours on end. Somebody over here asked me, how long did you practice at your age? You know, whatever your age is now. I think you are from, I can see a 10-year-old to 16-year-old. Don't look at your watch. Your practice should be from your heart. You should not count the number of deliveries. You should look at the amount of satisfaction it has given you. And there are some journeys in life where your brain should not take charge, your heart should take charge. And that is what I did. I did not leave nets till I was satisfied, till I was happy with my effort on that day. There have been occasions where my coach came and he said, okay, we can't see the ball, we can barely see each other, it's that dark, we need to stop practicing. So it is all about that. From there, from being a naughty child, my journey began where I became a focused individual, a disciplined individual, and that was all due to cricket. My brother taught me to plan, to practice hard, to focus, to stay a disciplined life, to prepare myself. And after all this, you have to go out and execute your plan. Now, everyone here talks about various numbers, but those numbers, people always remember those big numbers, but also I know that there were a number of failures, and failures taught me in life quite a bit. But I cannot forget my father's message there. My father said, if you fail in life, I will accept. But if you cheat in life, I will not. So that is exactly what I shared with all of you before we started playing today. That let's be competitive, but let's not cheat. We'll be competitive, we all want to win, but not by cheating. So always remember that, guys. I also saw a lot of enthusiasm. Also, there were a couple of faces there sitting right behind those two girls were really tense. They didn't want to bowl. And we kind of encouraged them, we pushed them. We said, you have to bowl. And they enjoyed. Wasn't this experience good? So that is, don't worry about making mistakes. Think about correcting your mistakes. For me, when I started playing for India, I started playing for India when I was your age, I was 16. And from there on, I started traveling. I learned a lot of things. And sport has taught me so many things. So I feel, again, I would like to reiterate that this is a platform where you go out and express yourself fearlessly, but not carelessly. Be fearless, be confident, and this is my message also to Nepal women's team. Go out, be fearless, but don't be careless. I think it is important to go out and express what you feel. The whole world will applaud your efforts. I don't want to make my speech too long. I understand there are, and I can promise you that I'm going to be your partner. I'll be there all the time with you in anything that you need to achieve. Nepal cricket team, of course, Binod has been a hero to everyone and continues to be one. He's continuing to contribute towards Nepal cricket. I want to applaud his effort, his sincerity, and his dedication. I think it is really important to learn number of things which normally you wouldn't from such personalities. When they are around, you talk to them as much as you can. By talking and playing, you learn more. It is all about children's rights. So, if you ask them the right question, you will have the right answers. It's part of growing. Last but not the least, I'd like to thank all the people here in Nepal who've gathered here to support this initiative, this cause. It is a journey which has begun 30 years ago, but we've got miles to cover, guys. Let's not take the foot off the pedal. Let's press it as hard as possible and achieve our targets. All the very best. Namaste.
दौड़ी दौड़ी दौड़ी